we're back in the room, the big room today. The audio level should be a bit better today. I've connected the mic up to this little new camera, so didn't have it on yesterday, so it was a little bit low. But anyway, first things first is let's get all these lines of filler PVA'd, just so it stops the suction, and then we'll crack on with this big ceiling. So I'll just set you up somewhere while that goes on. Oh, you beast, come on. Right, that there, a board coming from one to the other should let me span that whole room then. That's the plan. Right, there we go, there's the setup for the day. Well, for the morning anyway, so up here, on here, I can reach there, and there. There's the goodies. Oh yeah. Right, I am out of breath. There's 2 coats straight onto that. Speed skimmed up. I put a sachet in the first mix, a whole sachet for about a bag and a half finish, and I've just put half a sachet in for the second mix, which was about half a bag. So I don't want that going off on me too quick. It's not the biggest of ceilings, but when they're 2.8 high, it does take a lot more time and a lot more effort. So I'm no spring chicken, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to start using a bit more extra time. I think stop trying to get home at 3 o'clock, maybe get home at 4 o'clock, but just have an easier time of it anyway. I'll put you down again. I can't film too much of this because it's just full on. I've got something going on the GoPro. I've got a time lapse going on the GoPro, so I might find some footage of that. Right, let's get on. Just make sure you can see me. That's right. Right, so wherever possible, I would always get myself so I can walk the ceiling rather than up and down on things. I don't like stilts, they're a bit dangerous. I don't like them work tool boots, they're also dangerous. But I feel more than confident always just on a board. It's just second nature to walk along a scaffold board. So whenever I can, I will always walk the ceiling. I don't think you get a better finish than starting at one end and walking along. So I'm on with the Plastering at the minute, and I know a lot of people don't like these, but while the ceiling is still as soft as it is, because it's got extra time in it, the Plastering won't cut into the side of the plaster like a steel trowel will. So just to keep it flattening, we just get it. And now this is all being corniced, so I'm not too worried about these edges because it's having cornice, but we can get them after. So just walk the ceiling. Yeah, straight down all the way, lovely and flat there. And then when I'm on a scaffold board, probably like a lot of you older plasterers, it's just like being on the floor really. I don't even realise I'm on a board, which is probably not good practice because I'm probably going to come a cropper one day, but I'm so used to it. You can see how wet this gear still is, look. Got plenty of time with it. And this is where this little Plastering is good. When you are walking the ceiling like this, it's incredible how quick you can cover it. Alright, let's leave that alone for 5 or 10 minutes now. Come back to it for another one. So I'm just going over this again, last time with the Plasiflex, because it's stiffening up now, it's starting to go a bit. So, let's let that go for another few minutes. So I'd just like to thank anyone really that's subscribed in the last 2 or 3 weeks really. I've had sort of subscribers jumping up. The magic number is 1,000. I'm hoping to hit 1,000 within the next, I don't know, next month or 2 or 3 months. By the spring, I'll be really more than happy if I could hit 1,000 subscribers. And what that means is that I can potentially earn money out of this lark, but it's never going to be a lot because it's generated by how many views you get, and I'm never going to have like millions of views because I think the market's pretty saturated with plasterers at the minute. But there's a lot of plasterers just teaching, you know, how to do this, how to do that. So I don't really go down that route. I just generally do a little sort of daily thing of me at work, and if something funny happens, whatever, and you know, I can talk a little bit through the job and give tips and tricks, but generally I'm not here to teach. But if any of you want me to teach stuff, go through, you know, from beginning to end, I'm more than happy to do that. But I just think that there's a lot more people already doing that. So if you did want to know how to plaster a wall from scratch, there's probably a backlog of years of videos with people showing you that. So I thought I didn't want to make something that's already out there, because who's going to probably want to watch that if there's already loads jumping up. If you type in how to plaster a wall, I doubt very much I'd be first on the list, so I'll probably be making content that was never going to be seen. Anyway, so thanks for anyone that subscribed. Are you liking this new style camera? Let me know your thoughts on that really, because again, I'm only trying to make these videos look better for myself, obviously, but obviously for people to watch. I like this little camera, it sort of does this, that. You can't run away from it, it's really quick. Look, if I try and run over there quickly, look. I can't even run anymore, I'm too fat and old. But yeah, so it chases you about a bit. As long as my face is in it, if I turn around for a few seconds, the camera will forget my face. How could you forget this face? So that's the Plasiflex done with. Now, I may go on with this, which is their old Rafina spatulas, just with a handle on it, you know, the handle with a pole. But sometimes I like to keep the handle on it, you can sort of use it a bit like a big spat really. But these are good. They're not as bendy as the Plasiflexes, so they're a little bit more rigid, so you can walk the ceiling with these as well. And they do just as good a job, so I might give it one with that first. Maybe one with that, and then one with the steel, when I'll finish obviously with the ox, with the, what do they call it? I always forget what this is called. Ultraflex. I'll finish with the ox Ultraflex. I really don't think you can get a better finish than that for a trowel. You could do it with any trowel. Obviously you can do all this with one trowel. That's all we used to have when I learned. It was one trowel. You might have a separate trowel for render, but for finishing and you know, actual plastering, one trowel and that was it. And you learnt that trowel really well, and that trowel would eventually start moulding, like the corners would start rounding into the shape of your hand movement. So it was just perfect for you really. But now where people are using 4 or 5 trowels or whatever per job, they're not having a chance to wear in, I don't think. But anyway, I'm all for the modern stuff. I'm not a Luddite. I'm all for modern stuff to make life easier. So So let's get up top with this. Hopefully you'll still follow me, are you? So this is great, you just literally get that. And again, just walk along with it like you would anything, but I find this size is manageable. And I think this is it's a 2 foot. I think sometimes you get the 3 foot ones, they're a little bit too big really to keep even pressure on, but these 2 foot ones, you know, it's as big as old Smurf's trail, and has he got 24? Has he got a 2 foot trail, that carbon thing? So I'm out smurfing the Smurf today. How are you, Smurf, anyway, if you're watching? Are you back to work yet? I know you've had a bit of a quiet start. Shame you don't live near me. Me and Smurf are opposite ends of London, really. Smurf is right down in southwest London, I think. And I'm right up in northeast Essex, so we're too far away. But if I wasn't, it'd be nice to join forces with another little YouTuber here and there, just have a little bit of banter. I was even thinking about starting a podcast, because I don't know if any of you watch Dam's TV. I think Damo of Dam's TV. Hello to you, mate, if you're watching. I think you're a subscriber. You started a little podcast off, wasn't it? Now, I'd be more than happy to get the old webcam on and have a chat with you. I was going to start one myself, but I don't want to step on anyone else's shoes. But I was going to start the podcast off. I was going to call it the Plaster cast. What do you reckon? Would that be a good idea? I've never done one. I have no idea how they work. I know you can do podcasts on phones or these cameras and things like that. But maybe just linking up with other plasterers, having a chat. Not necessarily all about plastering, can be about anything, but just having a chat really. I just thought that might be nice, little bit of interactive going on. A little bit dubious about it because although I'm quite confident here doing this and come across as fairly confident on the camera, I think in a live situation it would be a bit of a different story. But anyway, this ceiling's going off. I've got some waffle, haven't I? I've got some waffle today, but the ceiling's starting to go. And this old Raffina spatula is fantastic. It really is. So this extra time is fantastic. It's giving me so much extra time. You wouldn't want it on a Friday afternoon. But on January the 6th, it's perfect. Right. I'm going to come down now, turn this off. Have a cup of tea. I'll come back to you in a little while when it's a little bit ready for a polish.
Run sequence. What are we waiting for? Well, let's do it.
Is it live or is it Memorex? You tell me. Am I different somehow?
So I'm going to leave it there today. That's ceiling done. Got that little bit of wall on there. And then just picked off this little corner here. That's all on. So I should have a good day in here tomorrow. Should get a lot more done. Jump on that wall first of all and just work my way around here. So right, let's pack up and get on.